She thought a few carefully chosen words could remove a black man from first class. But then he pulled out his FBI badge. Patricia Langford walked confidently through Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Her designer carry-on rolled smoothly behind her. This was routine Dallas to Washington, D.C., first class, as always. She loved the exclusivity, priority boarding, complimentary champagne, and quiet professionals discussing important matters. But today felt different. As she approached her row, she saw him. A black man, dressed in a crisp navy blue suit, already seated next to her. His posture was relaxed, eyes fixed on his laptop, fingers typing effortlessly. He looked like he belonged there, but Patricia wasn't convinced. Her lips pressed together as she placed her designer tote down, just a little too forcefully. First class wasn't supposed to be like this. Patricia cleared her throat. "Excuse me," she said, her voice polite but pointed. "Are you sure you're in the right seat?" The man barely glanced up. Yes, that was it. No explanation, no reassurance, just yes. Annoyed, Patricia signaled a flight attendant. Emily Jacobs, a young woman in her early 30s, approached with a warm smile. "I believe there's been a mistake," Patricia said with a small chuckle. "I think this gentleman is in the wrong seat." Emily checked her tablet. "Actually, Mr. Stokes is in his assigned seat," she said politely. "You're into A, and he's into B." Patricia blinked, her fingers tightened around the armrest. "That's odd. Are you sure?" Emily nodded. "Absolutely, ma'am." Patricia exhaled sharply. Well, mistakes happen. But she wasn't done, not even close. Patricia pressed the call button again. Emily returned, still professional but more cautious. "I'd like to change my seat," Patricia said. Emily frowned. "Is there an issue with the seat itself?" Patricia hesitated. She couldn't say what she was really thinking. Instead, she lowered her voice. "I just don't feel comfortable." Emily glanced at Daniel, who had paused his typing but remained silent. His expression was unreadable. Emily checked the seating chart. "I'm afraid first class is full. I can check economy for you." Patricia's face burned. Economy, as if she would ever. "That's not going to work," Emily smiled politely. "Then I hope you don't mind staying in your assigned seat." Passengers around them were starting to notice. A man in a blazer turned his head. A woman nudged her husband. Someone was recording. But Patricia didn't care. She pressed the button again. This time, Emily hesitated before returning. "I need to speak to someone in charge," Patricia demanded. "Or the pilot." Emily's patience thinned. "The pilot is preparing for takeoff, ma'am, but I'm happy to assist." Patricia's voice sharpened. "I don't feel safe." The cabin fell silent. Passengers exchanged glances. A businessman muttered, "Here we go again." Emily's professional smile disappeared. "Ma'am, are you saying you feel threatened?" Patricia tilted her head. "I'm not saying that. I just don't feel comfortable." Emily took a deep breath. "Ma'am, Mr. Stokes has a first-class ticket, just like you. He's in his assigned seat. I cannot and will not ask him to move." Patricia's face flushed. She was losing control. But Emily's tone hardened. "Ma'am, if you continue disrupting the flight, I'll have to ask you to deplane." A few passengers clapped softly. Patricia opened her mouth, ready to argue. And that's when Daniel reached into his pocket. He pulled out a leather case, flipped it open, and held it up. A gold FBI badge gleamed under the cabin lights. The air shifted. Passengers gasped. Someone chuckled. The woman recording zoomed in immediately. Daniel's voice was calm, measured. "Ma'am," he said, tilting his head, "would you like to file an official complaint?" "I can take your statement right now." Patricia's breath hitched. Her mouth opened but no words came out. Daniel didn't blink, didn't move. He just waited. For the first time, Patricia felt trapped. The flight landed, but Patricia's troubles were just beginning. As she rushed through the airport, she spotted a group of reporters near baggage claim. A news anchor spoke into the camera. The now viral video shows a woman attempting to have an FBI agent removed from first class. The clip has over 1 million views and climbing. Patricia stopped breathing. 1 million. She turned to leave, but a reporter spotted her. Wait, that's her. Panic surged through her. She darted toward the exit, ignoring her phone vibrating in her purse. But she couldn't outrun what was already spreading online. She pulled out her phone with shaky hands. Twitter was already trending with her name. Racist woman tries to remove black man from first class, turns out he's FBI. The comments poured in. Karma is real. She really thought she could get away with it. Hope she enjoys the internet roasting she's about to get. Her stomach churned. The flight wasn't even over, and she had already lost. The final blow came in a phone call. "This is James Rollins, chair of the Marston Foundation," a clipped voice said. "I assume you're aware of the situation." Patricia swallowed. "James, we're going to need you to step down." Her heart sank. She had been on the board for years. "This is being taken out of context. The board disagrees." His voice was flat. "We expect your resignation by morning." The call ended. Patricia stared at her phone. Her career, her reputation gone. And the worst part? No one cared about her explanation. Meanwhile, Daniel Stokes had already moved on. By now, he was probably in a meeting, completely unbothered. For him, this was just another Tuesday. If this story made you think, don't forget to subscribe to Unfolded Tales Explained and press the bell icon for more real-life scenarios.